the moral of the story is we were emailing now.
Okay.
Now we're email friends. And we're going back and forth and we're getting kind of flirty in these emails. And I fabricated this. So now we're in 9th grade, right?
Mhm.
I fabricated this entire story about this guy who didn't exist at my school who had asked me to homecoming and then bailed on me to go with someone else. Yeah, I fabricated this entire story so that he would feel bad and ask me if he could take me to my homecoming at my school.
Oh, so you weren't even being like, you didn't even do the can you go on me
No.
instead? You're like, I'm going to just do sob story.
Nope, I'm just setting up a sob story and letting him swoop in as the knight in shining armor, and he did.
So it worked.
It worked.
It
That's what I'm
worked.
saying.
It worked. Oh my God.
So he asked me to my homecoming at my school.
And how last minute did you even send this email?
This was actually pretty far in advance.
Yeah,
If
like,
he thought about it at all, it would have been like super clear that this was.
You'd be like, I mean, I'm sure you can find someone else. You got 2 weeks.
I think it was more than that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even better.
I don't think they're not thinking.
Hey everybody, real quick, before I get to my great guest this week, we are sponsored by SunsetLakeCBD.com. But my guest this week actually also uses this product. They sponsor her pod too. That's how great they are, all right? We got a promo code for you. It's SGS20 for 20% off. The latest product I've been loving is they have an arnica cream. It's great for if you're getting back into working out, lifting, or just, sore from age, as we all are experiencing now. And it works. It truly works. I love it. The arnica cream. Their gummies are some of my favorite stuff as well. They have some that also have melatonin. If you have trouble sleeping or you're feeling a little jet lagged from all your travels, visit sunsetlakecbd.com and use our promo code SGS20 for 20% off. And you can use it continually. It never expires. More than one time. sunsetlakecbd.com. Check them out. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Shooters Gotta Shoot. I am your host, Erica Spera, and I have another great guest for you guys this week. But before we get to her, real quick, if you're watching us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. You're right here. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. Help you grow out. It's free. But if you have a little cash, another way you can help me out is you can join the Patreon, which is patreon.com/shootersgottashoot. We have a preview at the end of the episode so you can get a little taste, see what's going on if you're curious. But more importantly, we're almost at 300 subscribers where we'll be doing a live exclusive show that's interactive Q&As. So if you want to, first of all, vote who's going to be on the show, and 2, see the show, join the Patreon, which is patreon.com/shootersgottashoot. So without further ado, hit it, Fonzie.
Call it Paul.
Oh, you might know her from her infamous Rent the Runway hauls, or being the queen of Bumble openers. Her podcast, Finding Mr. Height. Please welcome the great dating coach, Allie Jackson. Oh, I know. I like.
Man. Can we just like listen
a
to
little bit. We're here.
Brings me right back to the frat basement.
Yeah, we do have to cut it at 30 seconds for copyright reasons, but it's fine.
Damn it.
But it's good. I know. Unfortunately, but great walk-up song.
Thank you. I literally used that walk-up song on my softball team.
I am not surprised. You need a good. I need one for comedy a lot, but it's interesting if comedy, if you're not super high energy, you can't pick too high energy.
Oh, because you got the crowd here.
Everyone gets there, and I come up and I'm like, I'm a little slower than that, or especially something like that. Everyone wants to twerk. And I just walk on stage, no twerking, hello.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
They're like, you listen to this? I'm like, I do. Secretly, by myself, all the time.
I mean, I don't think anyone would look at me and think, Yin Yang Twins.
Yeah, but of the Yin Yang Twins, that song is the forgotten song.
It's so fucking good.
It's the middle child song of the Yin Yang Twins.
It's so good.
It's
It's like the song that made me stop playing Beirut. I almost called it beer pong, and people from college would have yelled at me. To made me stop playing Beirut and start dancing. That was the song in the frat basement.
All right. Yeah, that's your I Get on the Dance Floor song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah. That's clutch. I know. I'm there's one, what is the name of the song? I got a speeding ticket to this song. It's the only time I've gotten a speeding ticket. And it was my dance floor song. I was like, I gotta get on the dance floor. I was in the car we gotta get on it. Shit. It was oh my God. Oh, I'm so mad. I know what it is. I think it was a T.I. song too. Crap. It's going to hit me later in the episode.
Did you get out of the speeding ticket? Did he understand?
I did not. I I was going 85 into 65. It was bad. It was a bad one. It was one of those I was like, he pulled me over. He's like, do you know what I pulled you over? I was like, I think I was maybe going a little too fast. And I don't know they write that on the ticket. I don't know they write exactly what you say.
They write exactly what you say?
Yeah, because my dad found it. And I just hear him downstairs go, I think I was maybe going a little too fast. 85? He was like, 85? I was like, all right. I was like, my bad. But the only ticket I ever got. Not bad.
Fun fact, until 5 years ago, I'd been pulled over many times, never received a speeding ticket.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your go-to excuse? Any?
A lot of different things. There were a lot of different extenuating circumstances. One time I'd just been attacked by a kitten, and I was like, this is...
Like the cat was in the car?
No, not anymore. Not by the time I got pulled over.
But you had the marks.
I had been attacked. Yes. I had been attacked by a kitten in a parking lot.
Okay.
And I was like bleeding everywhere.
Yeah.
And then I got pulled over, and I was so panicked that I pulled over. It was in the freeway. I pulled over to the left side, like in between the carpool lane and the divider, like the most dangerous place you could possibly be.
Yeah.
And the cop was, what the fuck are you doing? And I just held up my bloody hands, and he was like, ah.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I've heard, I've never used this, but I had a friend, she was like, say you really have to go to the bathroom.
Oh, interesting.
She's like, but be like squirming
like
in
you're
your
like
seat
dying.
and be like, honestly, if you're going to write me a ticket, can I go? Like, can I get out of the car
like
and
just,
go? Like, I have to go. And she's like, they'll be like, yeah, just
wow.
like, just keep it moving. Unless you've done something like clearly dangerous.
Sure.
But
I really like that.
Speeding, I'm like, that's a clever
Maybe
one.
I'll have to go out there and speed just to see.
Yeah, that's not bad. By the way, is she close enough to the mic? Is she good? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay, all right.
Just checking. All right, so we had a great time. We went to Third Eye Blind together and Taking Back Sunday. Don't forget both.
Yeah,
Really
honestly, I was more there for Taking Back Sunday, to be honest.
I was more Third Eye Blind fan, but truly was blown away at how good Taking Back Sunday was. Because I like them, but I was like, oh, live.
They were
pretty incredible.
And it brought me back, speaking of things that bring me back, music that brings me back, it brought me back to my like high school days, wearing the studded belt and the chucks.
Oh, yes.
I'm from San Diego, for those in the audience who don't know that. So like the emo scene, the skate rock scene.
Yeah,
I was all about it.
I had my Avril Lavigne phase.
Hell
and I
yeah.
remember buying the plaid skirt, the studded belt, the little chain that you add to your belt loops for, not the chain wallet, just the chain.
Just the chain.
Just the chain.
Yeah.
Just the accessory. Yeah, and I remember like coming to school and someone being like, oh, are you like punk this year? And I was like, I don't know, maybe.
I've
Like,
always liked punk.
yeah, I was like, this is cool. This is in. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, that first trip to Hot Topic. What a memory.
It's, yeah,
Always
I've seen
is.
Blink-182 18 times.
Holy shit.
Another fun fact.
I mean, they're also great.
Yeah, but they grew up in San Diego as well, so
Yeah, you got to see them.
yeah. But
I
yes,
know.
that concert, amazing.
So good. But hilariously, at the concert, what came up was we started talking about the different things we had done in our lives that thought would attract men or get a boy to like us when we were young. And I was like, you had a few very impressive stories that I was like a little shocked that I was like, oh, Allie's a real shooter over there.
Because what I was about to say is not thought. It worked several times.
It does. It does work.
Not that I condone any of these methods because like these are not long lasting relationships. Shocker.
Mm-hmm. Well, like, or a lot of times for me, it was like things that I thought like the guy would notice and take as a sign.
Oh, yeah.
Like I've never been into astrology, but I was like, but this mix CD.
But he's going to see this away message and
Yes.
he'll know.
Oh.
He'll know.
Oh my God. I wouldn't even think of that. So I have one that I used to do with AOL, AIM, of two things. Of if they had lyrics in their profile or away message,
Yep.
I would put the next
thing.
line,
Yep.
the next line from the lyrics in mine. I was like, he'll be like, oh, she's my
She's
soulmate.
my soulmate.
I don't know.
She completes me.
Like he would just be like, oh, she's so cool. She also knows this song. And it would be like the most popular song. Like everyone knew it. And I didn't know the song. I would never know the song.
No, of course not.
I'd be looking
you
it
can't,
up.
You can't know the song in order for
No.
you to do that move.
No. Yeah, just the next two lines. I was like, he's going to see it.
I lifted a guy. So a guy had I think it was in his actual profile that he had lyrics from some song. To this day, don't remember because, again, didn't know the song.
Yeah.
I made it the background music of my MySpace profile.
Oh, let's go.
Which, like, that's a big deal
Ooh,
at the time. If your your
is.
background music is a big deal.
So your brain was like, he's going to come to my MySpace page, hear the song, and be like, I have to go out with
Go
her.
back to the aim and then talk to me. There were a lot of steps.
Yeah, there was no messenger on MySpace, right? You could
No.
wasn't there like a wall you could write on?
It was
though?
a wall, but it was like a literal wall. Like anyone could edit it. It was like a
Yes.
hot mess.
Yes. And there was the top eight.
Top
The
eight.
top eight.
Yeah.
So that's
there
when
were
I know everyone broke up.
a lot of steps in the process for him to then come back to me. That one never worked, I have to say.
I know, but that's when you go, I'm not being obvious. Like, he's gonna really think it's a connection when he hears the song and think I'm so cool.
I'm on the next level.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, this will trick them. It's like, it's not. They're not even thinking about that.
Of course not.
They're just like, nice.
No, here's the song. The chances that this person in question was ever on my MySpace page is 0% chance this guy was ever on my MySpace.
Yeah.
He didn't know me.
Damn. I was like, any other AIM moves you used to make? Specifically?
Those are like the biggest ones. Or I would see someone's away message and then, did you ever do the accidental message?
Ooh, what's that?
This graduated to an accidental text later when cell phones existed.
Oh.
The message that wasn't meant for them.
Oh, you'd pretend like a mid-conversation message?
Yeah.
Oh. Do you remember any of the things you would say?
It doesn't matter. Like, they were super random, but now you're talking.
Oh, I would probably go school route. I'd be like, oh, what was that thing in science? And then I'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry. You're not in my class. I thought you were so-and-so.
It would just be like super random. Like, because you know when somebody would sign on and it would like do the like door opening thing and you had the thing. So sometimes you would accidentally click that and their chat would open. That is a thing that would happen.
True.
Not to the degree that I pretended it happened. But like, then I would be like, oh shit, sorry.
But to make that move, do you message right when they logged on?
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to wait.
Okay. All right.
It takes patience, Erica.
Yeah. Well, I would do that. You hear the door and you see the name, and then it was always the thing you're like, I'm going to wait.
No,
3 minutes.
This move you can't wait.
That move you can't.
You have to go immediate.
Do you remember the times you'd go, I'm going to wait. I want to talk to so-and-so, but I don't want to look like I was waiting for them to come on. And literally like 5 minutes goes by and they just put up an away message.
Yeah.
Like I was like, damn it. Like,
missed my window. Now you got to wait again.
Yeah, exactly. But I was like, that's what guys are. They just log on. They're like, any messages? Nope.
No,
okay.
bye.
Just bye. Just gone.
All the while you're like taking up the whole phone line of your home.
Yeah, exactly.
While you're like, Mom, I'm waiting. This guy might come back.
It's important. It's very important. I remember another story we talked about because I had something similar too, which is we're like weirdly, I don't know, sisters on a level.
Is it the CD?
It's the CD.
Yeah.
My CD is a little different than your CD story.
Okay.
But yours is great.
Do you want to tell yours first?
You go first. You're the guest.
So this was in college, which I wish that I could say it was in high school. I really do, but I was an adult. So not like a super adulty adult, but like technically an adult. And I was home visiting, or I was like home in San Diego, and I really liked this guy. I think we had already hooked up a couple times. We dated throughout the course of like the whole winter break that I was home.
Oh, yes. Big
whole
time.
winter break relationship. And I was taking him and his roommate and my best friend from home, who was hooking up with his roommate, to SeaWorld. And
I forgot.
You forgot that it was a SeaWorld?
Wow, what a like childhood date that like, God, I look back and I remember being at like amusement parks on class trips and literally being like, seeing a couple like mauling each other in line and being like, oh, I can't wait to have a boyfriend and bring him to Six Flags.
To SeaWorld.
Go to SeaWorld.
Yeah. Also, we got free tickets to SeaWorld because my uncle kind of works for them or used
hell
to.
Yeah.
So this was a free adventure.
But still an adventure nonetheless.
An adventure nonetheless. And so I had looked up in advance this guy's, I think it would have been MySpace at the time because Instagram didn't exist.
Yeah, I know.
Some sort of social media. Maybe it was his Facebook, whatever. He had
Tumblr or something.
Something. He had all these like music artists that he liked. I hadn't heard of a single one. Not one. I burned a CD.
Oh, yes.
Of those music artists, and I didn't choose their most popular songs.
What a move! What a move!
I chose like 3 or 4 songs down the CD of each one. Created this mix CD. Put it as I had like a 6 CD changer in my car. Mm-hmm. I put it as the 3rd CD so that it wasn't like the first thing.
Yeah. And again, they would notice none of this.
No, of course not.
But we're like, we got to make it sly.
Of course not.
Oh my God.
And mind you, I didn't even know the first song, the most popular song of these. I had no idea who these people were.
That makes it even better.
I listened to this CD for a week leading up to this so that I would know the words.
Yes, I have. Oh, I've done this move.
There's so much preparation in this.
I'm cringing inside of my own mistakes, but yes, go.
But it fucking worked. We got in the car. We were like drove. It's like an hour to get there. So we're driving. Like one CD goes, and then this CD comes on. And I can't remember any of the bands, but he was like, "Oh, you know this band?" And I'm just like cool as a cucumber. Like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Keep driving, singing. My friend in the back is just like, I can see her in the rearview mirror, and she's just like, fucking idiot. Like, you don't know. You don't know.
She's like, you're really working this hard, Allie.
Yeah.
But you got to respect it.
You know what?
I respect this so much.
I think so.
Especially learning the words is not easy when you don't like the music, first of all. But second, like, you're like, I have 3 days till my trip. This is going to be on repeat.
Yeah. It was like the Duolingo of the time.
Yes, literally. You're like, I'm learning another language for this man.
I am. I'm learning how to speak Eric.
Oh my God.
What is his name? Whatever.
So it worked, but then...
So it worked in the sense that so we had just been like kind of casually talking and not seeing each other as much. That day, we will never know if it was the CD. It catapulted us into another stratosphere for the next month.
But didn't you tell me the CD was almost ending and you were almost at the destination and you started to get nervous that the next CD was going to play?
Yes, ma'am.
That's so fucking funny.
So we were like getting in. It was on the way home.
Hilarious.
So we're on the way home and I was like about to drop off him and his roommate and it's about to end. I'm like, we can't. I very clearly have a 6 CD changer in here, but I only have 1 CD worth of music he likes. Like, we gotta go. We gotta get out of this car.
Yeah. And the next one's like hard pop.
Probably.
Like, which truly, I feel like most men wouldn't even judge at all. They'd be like, yeah, she's a girl.
She likes all the music.
Yeah, of course she likes this song.
A variety of musical taste. No, I couldn't have that happen.
This is so funny. I've done several parts of that move, but in a different way. And I love that you picked like the third song.
You have to.
You're like, he's gonna be like, she's a real fan. You know, like deep. But how funny would it be if he knew none of the songs?
If he was a poser on his own social media profile, what if those songs were for some other girl?
Hilarious.
What if this is a chain reaction?
Yeah, you're really connecting with someone else. Okay, I've done. This is so embarrassing to say. I had a crush on this guy who sat behind me in a class, and he was very into like more rock music and more like even like classic old school rock, right? And I knew that he liked Led Zeppelin. And so I took one of my brother's CDs that had Led Zeppelin on it to learn some of the songs.
Sure.
To then hum to myself.
No.
While sitting in front of him in class thinking he'd go, oh,
is that Led Zeppelin?
Is that Stairway to Heaven? and he would just be so like, oh, you like Stairway to Heaven? Oh, cool. Never happened.
Of course not.
Never happened. But I tried. There were a few songs I learned.
How loudly were you humming?
I don't know, Allie. I tried. Like, I was just like, this will be the perfect, it's just stuck in my head. You know, and I'm in 7th grade. It's like, what 7th grader is just listening to Stairway to Heaven? And I listened to that shit like every morning to learn.
Oh my God.
I think I put it as my wake up song on my alarm clock to be like, we're going to wake up and learn the words today, Erica. We're going to learn them.
I would love if somebody else commented on it. Like somebody that you were not trying to hum for.
I'm like, shut up, Dan. It's not for you.
It's not Stairway for him.
It's not. I've done that, and I've had the opposite of the mixed CD of, I did have a CD that was like music I liked.
Okay.
But I had a guy in mind as well. But it's this thing of like, I would always take this as a sign of like, this is a CD of music I like. And I remember giving him a ride somewhere and a song came on and he just was like, oh, is that Missy Elliott? Turn it up. And he cranks it up. And I just remember being like, yes,
did it.
I was like, oh, he likes the music. He likes me. Like it just
transitive property.
No correlation. And again, it was like already a guy I was like making out with in the basement. Like, I don't know why I was like, and then, but if he likes the CD,
maybe we'll be soulmates
then
now.
We're going to prom. You know what I mean? Like your brain is just like, then I'm going to get next level. Like a lunatic.
It makes you feel like a lunatic. I truly acted like a crazy person.
It does. But also, but then when it works, you're like, wow. I'm not a total lunatic. You know what I mean? I might be crazy, but it worked. It worked. Even for a brief period of time. Like, well, I got the window.
I can think of very few of these stories that didn't at some point work.
Yeah. Can you think of any other ones?
Yeah. So
you're like, how much time do we have? What time are we at, man?
Okay, so a slightly different vein. So there's this guy who I actually just recently told the story of him on my Patreon. And I'd never talked about this guy before.
This is like past guy.
Yeah. We call him the homecoming date for reasons that were about to become clear. So we grew up together. Our parents went to college together. He's 1 month younger than me. So I've literally known him like since infancy.
Yeah.
And I've loved him since then.
Oh, of course. We all have these.
Yeah.
The neighborhood boy, but
the thing is, so he didn't go to my school and didn't really live anywhere close to me. So I only saw him at like very intermittent college friend reunion type
But
things.
see, this is why you were in love with him.
Yeah,
because you didn't really
I
know
didn't
him.
actually know him.
Yeah.
But I did know, based on like whatever rumor mill circulates in the middle school community in San Diego, that he was very cool at his school. Like very cool.
You're like, I got confirmed.
I confirmed it.
I picked well.
I confirmed it. And it should be noted that I was very not.
Oh, really?
You didn't know this?
I don't know, dude.
Oh.
You're an athlete, which can go for women goes one way or the other.
I wasn't very good at doing that for a while.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I was really bad at everything for a long time. Very not cool. Like no people talk to me.
Yeah.
I had friends, but like kind of. Anyway. So I was like, oh my God, this guy is super popular. He doesn't know that I'm a weirdo.
Yeah.
So like, this is great.
Yeah. You're like I can
he's-
move up the food chain
Yeah,
over
he's
there.
totally separate. He's probably not asking the rumor mill about me because they don't do that.
Mhm.
He has no idea. So this is before AIM even. We're on actual AOL.
Okay.
So there used to be like
Emails.
emails. Yeah, like AOL, whatever. Like, but like in that thing. So so we go to, there's like an annual beach party of this college reunion every year. And it's 8th grade, in between 8th grade and 9th grade. I was like, all right, you're going to be in high school. You have to do something about this. You have to shoot your shot. This is me shooting my shot.
And is this like you haven't even kissed a guy yet?
Goodness, no.
No. So I'm like, is part of your brain being like, we need to get that first kiss before high school?
No.
No, I did that.
Oh,
I was
no.
very. Oof! I got a story about that. Yeah,
I was not on that. I don't even think I was thinking about kissing.
hilarious.
Okay. I just like liked him.
Yeah,
I was like,
like,
all right,
this is my chance.
this is my chance. It was like,
Yeah.
we're going to establish a connection here at this beach party. And so I basically at the end of the beach party forced him to take my AOL address. Like I distinctly remember him saying, fine, I'll take your email.
Oh my god!
So I don't really remember how that part went
Oh,
down. I think I
boy.
like blacked that part out. But the moral of the story is we were emailing now. Now
Okay.
we're email friends. And we're going back and forth and we're getting kind of flirty in these emails. And I fabricated this. So now we're in 9th grade, right?
Mhm.
I fabricated this entire story about this guy who didn't exist at my school who had asked me to homecoming and then bailed on me to go with someone else. Yeah, I fabricated this entire story so that he would feel bad and ask me if he could take me to my homecoming at my school.
Oh, so you weren't even being like, can you? You didn't even do the can you go on me
No.
instead? You're like, I'm gonna just do sob story.
Nope, I'm just
and
setting up a sob story and letting him swoop in as
Yeah,
the knight in
yeah,
shining armor, and he did.
so it worked.
It worked.
It
That's what I'm
worked.
saying.
It worked. Oh my god.
So he asked me to my homecoming at my school.
And how last minute did you even send this email?
This was actually pretty far in advance.
It's like, that's-
If he thought about it at all, it would have been like super clear that this was.
You'd be like, I mean, I'm sure you can find someone else. You got 2 weeks.
You have. I think it was more than that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even better.
I don't think they're not thinking.
I know. Oh, this
So-
is great.
So our moms are thrilled. His mom has always loved me.
Of course, yeah.
My
Got the
mom,
family
little
in.
A on him.
Oh,
He was a very cool, popular kid. She knew what that meant.
Dangerous.
So then we go to the dance. There's this hilarious picture that I actually have on my phone and I will show you after this because I recently showed it to somebody else where I am so awkward and nervous and anxious. My hands are in tight fists at
Really?
my sides. He's standing there holding my corsage. I'm just standing
Oh.
next to him like
Oh my god.
I'm going to die. Like I'm going to just crumple into myself and die.
Shit.
So then we go to the dance and I spent the entire time in the bathroom crying and thinking I was going to throw up.
Really? You were that
Yeah.
like you got the date and then you were that nervous
Yeah.
the whole date?
Panicked
But what were you so nervous about?
that he was going to want to grind.
Oh my! You asked him to a dance.
I know.
That's what you do at a dance.
That's not what I did at a dance. I'd never been to a dance.
Wait, but like everyone else was grinding.
Of course they were. He
So
was
you-
grinding with other people because I was in the bathroom.
You kept hiding in the bathroom.
Yes, I was in the bathroom the whole time.
Kind of rude. He was grinding with girls he doesn't know.
So I thought so too.
Kind of rude. Actually, kind of. I don't
At the
like him.
same time, he was like a 14-year-old alone in a gym with a bunch of people he didn't know.
I know, but I was like the confidence of this man. A bunch of
Oh.
people he doesn't know, just showing up behind women.
Cool, popular kid. Just showing
Damn.
up behind women.
Like, we know the move where you're like, I'm dancing with someone. You just look at your friend. You're like, yay or nay, and they're like,
All
all right,
Yeah,
okay.
that's fine.
all right.
Yeah, and my friends kept coming in being like, yo, like he's like dancing with insert name here. Like, you got to get out there. And I'm like, I can't.
Oh, and you obviously didn't feel comfortable enough being like, I want to dance, but not grind?
No,
or you
of
just
course
didn't
not.
want to dance at
No,
all?
I couldn't communicate. No.
Oh, I'm just very like, what was your plan of him taking you to the dance?
I didn't have one, obviously. Where have you missed that?
I'm just like, I like to dance. I'd be like, yeah, come dance with me. Oh.
Yeah. But it has a happy ending because then we ended up dating on and off for like the next 10 years. After, like, skip forward to senior year. We didn't talk again until senior year. And then I could
Hilarious.
speak to people at that point.
Okay. Did you go to a dance? Did you redeem it or
We
no?
never went to a dance.
He
We did
was
spend
like-
a lot of time in his room at his mom's house.
Hilarious. Okay. All right. That's fun. I once did. I was seeing a guy and so badly, I wanted him to come to my homecoming. Went to a different school. So I asked him. I was like, oh, I have this homecoming dance. You want to come? And he gave me some like weird bullshit excuse. I was like weird about it. And part of me asked though, because I knew their homecoming was coming up, different weekend. And you're like, well, I want the invite to your homecoming. Da da da.
Yep.
So I met this guy kind of through my friend. So my friend is going to the homecoming and she ends up saying to me, she goes, oh, do you want to come? Me and just some girls are going. But like, I can bring you as my date. Like from another school, you have to like sign them up.
Sure.
And she doesn't know that I'm like hanging out with this kid. But I'm just like, yeah, let's go.
Let's do this.
So I know, and I'm so like, I'm going to show up to the dance, like looking so hot. He's going to regret not taking me. I do that. We show up. He's not there.
Oh, no.
He just generally didn't go. It's like, oh, this guy really just
it wasn't
doesn't
an
like
excuse.
dancing.
He just didn't want
Yeah,
it.
just didn't want to go. And then fast forward to, this is bad, of the summer. This in my head was weird revenge of, not even revenge, just, it was very like, this guy clearly did not want to date me, right? We were hanging out for a while. I remember getting him a Christmas gift and he like on Christmas Day was like, I was thinking we should just be friends situation.
Ah!
Yeah, sad. So I gave the gift to a friend. But then fast forward to, I met him like through basketball, through like the Empire State Games. He was roommates with my friend that was playing. And I needed to like stay in shape and play because I was playing in college. And so I started going to the courts where he would play with all the guys from his high school team.
Yep.
And I was showing up like every day to play basketball. And he was there the first like couple weeks. And then eventually he just stopped showing up.
Because of you?
Probably. Right? Like I just was like, oh, you don't want to date me? Fine. I'll just show up here.
I'll just be everywhere.
I'll just show up here. I'll just be so cool. I'll be friends with your friends. I'll be the cool girl playing basketball. Like, and weirdly, I thought that would make them like regret it. And it's like, no, it just made him go, I'm not going to play.
No, that made him go, well, now she's ruined this place for me.
Yeah. No, I just ruined it. But, oh my God. I know, but it's just so crazy that I was like, oh, this'll work.
This is what's going to be the thing.
Yeah. Or even funnier if I overheard my dad on the phone talking to someone and he was like, yeah, man, he's like, Erica's really getting after it. Like, I've never seen her like love to play so much. He goes, man, every day she's going down. She's
so
going
dedicated.
downtown. She's playing with the boys. They're bigger, faster. She's just going every day. She's so, it's something about when they come in as a freshman, they're so worried about being behind with all the other girls. And I overhear this and in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm literally going down there because of a boy.
Because of a boy?
This has nothing to do with
Oh
basketball.
my God.
I just kind of want to make this guy's life miserable because he didn't want to date me.
Did you get better at basketball?
I did get better. I did.
There you
It did work.
Despite yourself.
It just, dual. Yeah, and then there was one night I had all the guys come over to my house, go swimming. Like, I was like, yeah.
Oh my
Fuck it. I was
God.
like,
this
hang
guy's
out with all
like,
your
this
friends.
chick won't go away.
Yeah, I know, it won't go away. But I know, that did not work by any means.
Did you ever drive by somebody's house?
I mean, of course. Because I had a car.
What do you think the answer of men is if they ever did that?
Like, you do the drive-by where you're just, like, looking if they're outside?
Yeah.
Like that move?
There's no plan. Again,
Yeah, no plan.
there's no plan.
You're just like, let me see what's going on.
You're just gonna drive by their house.
Ooh. I feel like in both cases, you're just pulling the casual, like, oh, I was in the neighborhood. What are you up to?
Oh, if I actually saw him, I would have panicked.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
you're not
mean,
supposed to see them when you drive by the house.
I think I meant
You're
if a guy drove by mine.
no,
Sorry.
I just don't think boys.
Oh, if
did
I saw
that.
them, I would have rolled down the window and just been like, oh, what's up? And I would have made up some excuse why I was in the neighborhood. I had a younger sister, so I'd probably be like, oh, I had to drop Carla off around the corner. What are you guys doing? Want to go for a ride? Like, that was the ultimate suburb activity, was like, you just go driving
just go drive around.
You just drive around. You end up at like a McDonald's, just something that's open. You get food. It's like real basic stuff.
Yeah, I didn't do any of that.
I would just hang out at like a bubble tea place because it was near the local college and it was open late. And like none of us had fake IDs. So we just drink bubble tea and sit around. Like, so lame, but it was such a like.
But that was the thing.
But then, yeah, and when all my friends had boyfriends, like we'd go, with the boyfriends and hang out at bubble tea.
The reason that I brought that up is because I thought of one more story of something that I did.
Oh, what'd you do?
So I met this guy on MySpace.
Ooh.
And I've been online dating for a minute.
Yeah. I was like, wow, this is
Like, I met one of my first boyfriends in high school on a website called eCrush.
holy shit. Really?
Yeah. Took him to my 10th grade homecoming.
Listen, I know a girl. She was a senior in my math class when I was a freshman, so not the best at math. It was technically a sophomore math class. I was ahead of year, but
All right.
you know, New York State region, she got to pass them. Sometimes you get held back. It's what it is. She, I remember telling me, was going to meet this man that she met on MySpace, who was like a chunk of years older, and I remember
Oh.
being like, "This feels very dangerous."
That's dangerous.
But she was very like calm and confident about it, and they are married. They've been together a long time, and it's one of those stories that I remember being like so scared coming back to like Monday morning,
Will she be there?
being like, "Is she here?
Is she alive?
Did she get abducted? Should I have told my mom?" Like, you know, like that thing. You're like, "Oh God, these are the stories I hear." But
Wow.
no, they're in love. It worked out. So
Great.
no judgment.
Good for her.
Yeah.
So I met a boy at the time on MySpace. He was my age, although obviously I had no way of actually verifying that, but I thought he was, and he was. This is not going in that direction. So met him on MySpace. He invited me to a soccer game of his to like come see him play soccer. So I studied the hell out of soccer
Great.
for
Perfect.
the ensuing like week or however long it was before that. I knew nothing about soccer.
Please tell me you memorized some pro soccer players' names.
Of course. You have to commit. So, because the other thing is I had told him I really love soccer. This is the reason I
that's
kind of
right.
forgot this part.
Ooh,
So the
okay.
reason the invite came about is because I was trying to get invited to a soccer game. So
For
I
sure.
told him how much I love soccer, and our soccer team sucked, and he went to a big public school. They were very good.
Okay. All right. All right.
So I got the invite to the soccer game.
Oh my God.
Dragged a friend with me. We get there. There are so many girls there for him.
How do you know they're for him?
So many, because they're screaming his name.
Oh my God.
And I ended up talking to one of them, and I like did not reveal that like I was there. Like
Yeah.
I was just pretending I knew somebody else. And they were like, "Oh yeah, like Danny and I da 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 da." And I realized that he's invited like at least a dozen girls to this soccer game. So I'm just pretending not to exist at this point. And the soccer game ends.
So you stay the whole game.
I did. I
You're
had
like,
to.
I did all that work.
I had to commit
I did all the research.
because
Yeah.
if I left, people would know that I was upset, and of course they would talk about it forever.
Very true. Very true.
These people that I've never met who
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
go
yeah.
to my school,
No idea who you are.
so no idea who I
I would
am.
just be like, yeah, I'm his cousin. And then just leave.
So we get in the car. It's dark. I don't know where we are. We start driving. We're like, oh, let's like just follow this car to try to like get us out of this like community.
Yeah.
Right. We're driving. All of a sudden, the car turns into the driveway. It's him, and I have followed him home.
Oh my
Yep.
So you didn't even talk to him after the game?
No,
You just followed him
I just followed him home. I'm gonna
That's
cry.
so bad. That's so bad. And did you say anything? Or
No.
you just reversed out of the driveway?
I didn't turn into the driveway. I'm not that much of an idiot.
Still,
And he absolutely saw
Oh
me
my
because it took me
God.
a second to realize what was happening. And my friend was like, go, go, go. And we like drove off. Never spoke to him again.
First of all, when you told this story, one of my initial things was I was like, damn, a packed stadium soccer? It's like, that typically isn't the sport that has like
Oh.
groupies in high school.
They were really good.
But like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Where it's like football, basketball, baseball, soccer. You know,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah, I
a little bit of
guess you're right.
hierarchy about it that I'm like, I'm a little amazed of like, oh, this guy just had a plan. He's like, we need to pack the stands.
He had a plan.
And he
Yeah.
didn't talk to any women after the game.
Apparently not.
That's
And it
so
took us forever to
funny.
find our car. I remember at the time being like, what's he doing leaving immediately? Like after like a volleyball game of mine, like I wouldn't be home already.
Oh my God.
What?
Because everyone showed up.
Right. Yeah, probably. He's like, I get out of here. All
Or
these
like-
girls are
Or
here.
you get to use the thing, you're like, just mentally from the game, I need to decompress, and you could still keep all the honeys around.
True.
Wow.
True. So,
what a
yeah.
move. Get everybody come to the game.
Yeah.
I kind of
Oh, I thought you
respect
meant
it.
my move. His move
No,
was great.
no, his move.
My move is abysmal.
His move is just packing the stands. He's like, I'll just invite all these girls. It's kind of the perfect scenario where it's like, I need to be focused on the game. I can't talk to you.
Right.
So like everyone's like, oh yeah, he needs to
Yeah,
focus.
he's got to go.
He's the
Yeah.
star player, He's got press after this. It's like he's home and you
He's at
follow him home.
He went home alone.
What if you're like, yeah, I want to interview you for my school paper? First of all, how dare you?
I thought first of all,
That'd be so bad. Shit, this has been flying by. I'm like, we do have to wrap soon. But okay.
oops.
All right. So I want to ask you a question that kind of is a personal question for me that I did ask you when we were hanging out
Yeah.
recently. And I don't want it to sound rude, because it might come off that way.
Great. Love it
but
already.
Essentially, I've been dealing with like, essentially, especially with online or in general with like dates, and you feel like you go on a bunch of dates and they're all just bad, not hitting, and it's so easy to just feel like, fuck this, and like I want to quit. That I always think of you of like, I feel like whether you have something that doesn't work out, you bounce back quickly, or also just, you kind of just keep going. You keep the momentum alive and you keep going for it.
Yeah.
And I've had fans reach out to me too, being like, yeah, a lot of times I don't know how to like just keep at it. So essentially, I'm like, the question is like, what makes you not quit really trying to find someone to be with?
Well, we just.
I know this is a really big turn. I'm so sorry, everyone.
We took a real turn, not into that man's driveway,
Patreon
but
wanted
into
me to ask
like
this question very badly.
existential questions. So I think one thing I should say just up top is that like people, and I talk about this a lot with people in my DMs.
Mm-hmm.
My content is entirely dating related. That's not actually true anymore, but it's very largely dating related. So it looks like I spend a lot more time dating than I actually do.
Okay.
And when I'm taking a break from dating, which by the way I am right now,
nobody
actually knows.
Yeah, I
because
didn't know
I'm
that.
still posting like advice videos.
Right.
So, but when I say take a break, I mean that I'm like, you know what? Swiping is making me feel a little icky right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do it as much.
Yeah.
And I'll just kind of lean back a little bit from that. And then if you lean back from swiping, you're going to get less matches, go on fewer dates,
right,
etc. And then just have a little bit of a break so that then I can get back into it like with like renewed fervor.
But it's that sometimes that feeling you're like, but if I fully back off, then you are going on no dates. And then that makes you feel a type of way where you're like, okay, I'm kind of, quote, losing time, especially like I'm 31 and I feel that thing of like the getting older.
Yeah.
And being like, okay, well, I'd be 35 and be like, 31, you kept taking those fucking breaks. You should have just kept going.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you at 35 that I don't feel that way.
Okay, good.
but I think that it's like, I'm not taking massive, like, we are not dating. We are deleting our apps. We're not talking to anybody. We're not going on dates. And that's great for some people. Some people have done that kind of thing and it's really worked for them.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried to do that and it actually made me think about it more.
Yes.
Because it became this thing that I was like actively trying not to do.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when I just sort of like turn the volume up and down on my dating app usage, that has turned out to be more healthy for me. Because I can like turn it up and be like, okay, I'm really feeling this. I'm swiping. And I feel like success begets success also. Like once I start getting some matches and start talking to some people, it tends to kind of flow more.
Mm-hmm.
Right now we're in a real trough. So I'm
That's
like,
how I felt. I felt it's been dead.
Yeah, but I also, summer is real tough, especially August.
Yeah.
Like Labor Day weekend's about to hit.
Mm-hmm.
It's about to be on. We're turning the volume up.
Mm-hmm.
But like that, so I think that helps. The other thing that helps me is to just think back on good dates that I've been on. So you mentioned kind of when you're going on dates that are just
Yeah.
I try to remember back to the last good date, like really good date that I have, and remember how I felt before that one. So like to put it in the context of my 2022, the beginning of 2022, I was dating the rower and that ended in whatever that was, February.
Yeah.
And then I didn't go on another really good date, like really good date until the disco ball, which was in April. So like 3 months.
Yeah.
And when I went on a date with the disco ball that was really good, I remember thinking like, oh yeah, like this is what a good date feels like.
Yes.
Like it's going to happen again. And so right now I'm just thinking about like, okay, you went several months without a good date after the rower. You thought that you weren't going to be, you were like worried that you might not have another good date. And then you did.
Yeah.
So like that's going to happen again.
Yeah. It is the thing. It's just the longer the time goes between the good dates is what kind of like crushes your spirit a little bit.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, I'm like, online dates? You want to just go online that I've had that were really great? I'm like, I don't have a very recent one on my forefront memory.
Like more like your in-person ones.
It's been very, very tough and very long since I had that of like, but I remember when I had that one, now that you bring it up, I remember coming home and it was back when Molly did the show with me. And I remember talking to her about it and saying on the show, I was like, it was a date that made me believe in online dating again, specifically. Because even then I had the slew of just like bad, not connecting. Because I'm similar to you of I don't like to chat on the app a ton.
No.
Because it just dies. I also just don't have time. And then, so what I've been doing lately to kind of turn my volume down, and I don't know this is bad, I was going to get your opinion. I have been essentially being the most superficial I've ever been on a dating app in terms of how I'm choosing.
Interesting.
And I've kind of just in my mind have gone, if you match with this man and he immediately goes, let's get a drink sometime, would I want to go on that drink? And if the answer is no, I go, why
Yes
am I
and
even
no.
saying yes? Because most people bring it up quickly. And you can't blame them for that.
No, I actually think that's a good strategy.
Is it good?
Because I was actually talking about this with a client the other day, where I was saying to her that if you match with someone, for me, that means I want to go on a date with you unless you do something to fuck this up.
Yes. So
So,
there's a
like-
clear, you say something that's creepy, too sexual,
Yes.
too this.
Yeah, it's not a guarantee that I'm going to go on a date with you once we
Right.
match, because there's plenty of things you could do that would make me not want to.
Yeah.
But if everything remains neutral, I want to go out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I swipe with that same way. Like, if, to be clear though, I would be a little creeped out if somebody immediately said, let's go out, without
Yeah.
any, like, can you string a few words together? Are you a human?
Well, my biggest flag is you ask them a question and they just ignore whatever your question is and just direct it where they want to go.
Yeah.
Regardless of even if they're trying to make it to a date or just something else. Like, it's just so
They have
like
their own agenda.
you are literally not listening to me in a form that is you just have to read a sentence.
All you have to do is read.
Like you just have to read one sentence. Answer that, then direct where you want it to go. I don't care. Like, it's just, especially when it's like an opening. It's
Yeah.
like, don't disregard my opener.
Say
Hello.
something.
I tried.
Yeah.
I said something. I put something out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't hate that strategy.
Yeah, it's just I remember from our episode we did last time, because you're called Finding Mr. Height, we were like, do you swipe with a height filter? And you're one of the few people we've talked to in the dating world that you're like, you can have whatever preference you want to have.
Yeah.
And you're like, I know I'm taller, and not that many men are a certain height taller than me. And I know that lowers my dating pool. But you're like, but I'm choosing to do that, and I'm okay choosing that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing of, I feel like for women, as we get older, you get pressure from other people to essentially change your preferences or accept things that you wouldn't normally accept. And a big one is literally attraction. That people will be like, well,
Do you have to be attracted to
do you
him?
have to? And I'm like,
yes.
a little bit. I'm not even like, you got to be a smoke show. I'm like, a little.
Yeah, I mean, they could build. Like,
Yes.
you can go from, I was thinking recently actually about, so ASV, the Aspiring Sober Vegan, who is I would call him my most significant ex from an emotional perspective.
Yeah.
On our first date, so I met him in real life,
Okay.
out late, karaoke,
Fun.
super fun, but like, I'm going into this first date being like, I hope I still like this dude. I'm not exactly sure what we're walking into here.
Yeah.
And we walked in, it was actually into a comedy show that was absolutely terrible. We walked out of it.
Oh, I've performed at those shows where I'm like, oh, this poor date.
It was really
Ooh.
bad. We left.
Oh, good for you for leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Support live comedy.
I
I mean, leave if it's terrible, but give it a shot. It's like online dating. Some of
mean,
them-
we had paid. It was
some
like
of them are
$5
bad.
or something. Like, they
Yeah.
had our money already. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I walked into the bar and immediately thought, oh no, I don't think I'm attracted to this guy.
Interesting.
And I let her ride and like,
Mhm.
whatever, an attraction built throughout the date. We ended up kissing at the end of the date. And I still was like, okay, like I'll go out with him again.
Okay.
He turned into the most attracted I've ever been to someone ever in my life when we were
Interesting.
actually dating.
Mm.
Where I would look across, we'd be on like a subway together and I'd look across and be like, I'm dating that guy. Like, this is
Wow.
amazing. Like, I would literally see him across the room and think, oh my God, look at that smoke show.
So it's like literally switched from you walked in the room being like, I don't want anyone to know I'm out with this guy, to literally
Yes.
months later going, I like want to parade this man around the room.
Yeah, I'd like
Yeah.
him to be wearing a sign that says, she's with me.
Yeah, it can happen. I just feel like a lot of times with online dating, it's a little harder.
For sure.
Or also my theory is, I don't think anyone goes from the zero level of attraction to a 10.
No, I don't think so.
It's like
either.
there has to be some numbers on the board
Yeah.
to make you move.
And there was something there, right? Like, I didn't
Right.
walk in and think, like, I need to be away from him immediately.
Yeah. Or like meeting him drunk at karaoke. Or like, well, obviously then I thought he was a little cute. So like, all right,
Yeah.
something. There was something that pulled me in.
But I do think you can have whatever preferences you want. There's like
Mhm.
3 things that I say about that. 1, you can have whatever preferences you want, provided 1, you aren't making anybody feel bad about not meeting those preferences.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
no,
just because
no
I don't-
writing in your profile, you got to be this height.
Exactly.
Bullshit,
Like,
or
just because I
whatever.
don't want to date you doesn't mean you're less worthy as a person. And similarly, there are things
Mhm.
about me that would make people not want to date me. And that doesn't make me less worthy as a person.
Yeah.
So one, you're not making anybody feel shitty. Two, what you said, you understand that any preference you have is shrinking your dating pool.
Right.
Some more than others.
Mm-hmm.
And three, that you've at least thought about whether or not that preference is serving you.
Mm. Do you do a thing where you go, like, almost like a lot of matchmakers will kind of be like, give me the three things. Give me the three preferences, and I can only guarantee like a 3. Do you kind of do that in your head?
Not really, because
Okay.
I think it's more fluid than that.
Yeah.
But I do think there's something to that. That, like, if you
Right.
find yourself with a laundry list of deal breaker preferences, again, you are welcome to have that laundry list, but think about how many people are going to fit every single one of those.
Yeah, exactly.
No one, probably.
Yeah. I like the idea of kind of like, I think more, not preferences, it'd be more like the deal breakers. It's
Yeah.
like, what really are your top major deal breakers? And like for some people, it is something like religion, and other people, it's something that is more small. But it's like, almost like, I go, all right, you're allowed to have like 3.
Yeah, that's
You
fine.
have 3 you stick to, kind of see how that system works out for you.
Yeah.
Because that is the number one thing I hate, is when people push you to like either go out with someone you don't want to go out with, or kind of just be like, well,
I
kind of give you
know.
this look like, well, you're not getting younger. And
they're
you're
like,
just like,
would,
yeah, so what?
I would rather be older than I am now and single than older than I am now and married to somebody that I don't like.
Yeah. Especially you go married. But
Yes.
it's weird that people like are just thinking base level, where they're just like, well, don't you want to be with someone at Christmas? And you're like, okay, yeah, but like,
I want to
what?
like that person.
I know. Like, okay, so I have Christmas, and then,
Yeah,
And then
it feels
what?
worse. I feel like it would be worse. And I
Yeah.
can say it when I was in a bad relationship, I can guarantee that this is true. It felt worse to be with him for important things, knowing that I was with somebody shitty
ooh, yeah. Yeah.
and being like, I am now spending this important thing. My family has met this person that I think is a bad person.
Yeah, I've had a few people like message me stuff of when I've opened up about being like frustrated or feeling like lonely, and they've straight up been like, you don't understand. They're like, because you haven't been in a long, serious relationship. They're like, you can be in those relationships and feel exactly how you feel,
Yep.
and still feel super lonely and super like, what is this? Or more, they have the mentality where they go, well, am I going to meet anyone else? And they're not
Yeah.
happy in this thing. And it's like, yeah, at least at that point, it's just me that's sad.
I'm
And
not
I'm
bringing
gonna-
anybody else into this
Yeah,
mess.
I'm not going to hurt another person in the process. But
I don't think I've ever been lonelier than when I was with the oyster.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Awful.
But that's the thing I feel like a lot of people don't talk about in relationships, is they won't openly, even when it doesn't work out, they're kind of like, yeah, it didn't work out, but they won't actually open up with like, oh, actually, yeah, it was really terrible for months, and it took me a long time to like walk away.
Yeah.
Which I'm always like, that's the story single
Those
women
are
want
the
to
things.
hear.
Those are the posts we need on
Yeah.
Instagram. I don't care about your, like, I have a boyfriend soft launch.
Yeah. Tell me your fight. I want to know your
I
fight.
want to see your tears.
I know. Unfortunately, we do have to wrap because Fonzie, we have to respect Fonzie's time, as always. But I love you, Fonzie. You know. Anyway, everybody, you can find Allie at Finding Mr. Height on Instagram, TikTok. She also has a really great podcast, which I did an episode about herpes. If you haven't listened to, check that out.
Really good episode.
Which is called Finding Mr. Height Podcast. And as always, guys, you can find us at Shooters Gotta Shoot Pod, and I'm at Sparico with 2 A's, and we have a Patreon preview coming up next. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
We
you
didn't
for
get to
having
all
me
the
again.
questions I wanted because I was having too much fun.
This is great.
But-
I've cried.
I know. I mean, you're a repeat guest. People love you. I love you. We definitely have you back. So thank you all for listening, and see you next week. Bye. I remember I do this, and I coordinate this that I'm doing this during the day with dreadlocks. I have a date with Eggs Benedict that night that I knew upon setting this up, and I, like I said, not proud of this. I, in a toxic kind of fucking way, was like, I'm going to get the scent of another man on me and go to my date with Eggs Benedict. On some crazy shit. And I know I have indirectly said this on the show, but I didn't get details of who, what, where, but I've said I've showed up with the scent of another man. If you want to hear the rest of this episode, join our Patreon, which is patreon.com/shootersgottashoot. For just $5 a month, you can get an extra episode a week of all the behind the scenes content, and we'll answer all your questions directly over there. You get the real juice, you get the real scoop, and you get a say in who we have on the show and what we talk about on the show. Patreon.com/shootersgottashoot.